Recording in progress.
Right.
Yeah.
We're having an echo.
Yeah.
Okay. So once more, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being there in such an important day for all of us. Let's breathe in once and see all of us here together in this wide circle, so wide that we have to be in a square space for this online space. Hello, and we can say hello to each one of us in the screen. You can choose one person to say hello, hi, connect. We can say hello to another person in the screen, hi. Someone else, hello. I'm so happy to be here with you all. Today is the 12th of October 2025. Today is the day of Indigenous Resistance Day, a day of cultural diversity. It is not Columbus Day. It is not El Día de la Raza. So this is very important. And we are together offering this meeting, this gathering for all of us with Claudia from Abrazadores de la Tierra, Internacional. There's Claudia, she's calling from Mexico. And we also are here with Cheryl. There's Cheryl. And with Luis. Where are you? There you are, Luis. Hi. And they are here from the Oxford Buddhist group, support group. They will be, so this is the flow I'm going to explain. We will have a guided meditation with Claudia. Then we will have Luis and Cheryl telling us about what the Oxford prayer vigils are and why we are all invited. And then we will have the Dharma sharing space in small groups, then in the large group, and then we will have a healing ceremony touching the earth with the 4 elements. And then we will have a space for the ones who can stay and want to stay for the informal part of the meeting. So thank you so much. With Claudia, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, dear Thai, dear Sangha. We would like to offer the merits of this practice to all environmentalists, indigenous land defenders, and their murdered ecosystems in Latin America and in the global South. And this session is especially dedicated to honor the memory of Julia Chuñil. She's a Mapuche environmental leader, defender of the native forest and sacred Mapuche land in Mafil, Chile. She disappeared in November in 2022, and as a recent investigation suggests, she was presumably set on fire by a forest business owner who was disputing Julia's Mapuche community land. In Mexico, we have a saying that says, "Whoever fights for life will never die." So this is in her memory. I will invite Abel. Sorry, I think it didn't hurt. I go again. And now to get to know each other a little better, we would want to invite you all to share with us your name and your pronouns and your land acknowledgements in one word saying, how are you arriving today? You can share this with us in the chat. And there's a question that we would like to get an answer maybe later or today. How do you can or how do you or can you engage supporting the indigenous causes, the indigenous resistance and celebration? If you all can share that with us in the chat, it would be amazing so we can get to know each other. And I'll see. I'm from Mexico. I'm in the Mexica sacred land, Tenochtitlan, Mexico City. And I think the way I can engage or support the indigenous resistance is trying to give them a voice whenever it's possible and trying to honor all its legacy. And if there's somebody that can or want share, okay, here we have Ellen Berry on the ancestral lands of Tabahuache, now called Colorado Springs. Michael says he's in the Dijope land of the Ho-Chunk and aka Madison, Wisconsin. Grateful. Padma on stolen Cherokee land in western North Carolina. And Maya, she, her, she lives in the Tewa homelands of what is called northern New Mexico. Okay, Liz coming from the home of the Wampanoag, today commonly called Boston Grateful. It's amazing how there's lots of people and beautiful cultures in the United States that are right now rising. It's beautiful to see them all here. AD, the land of the Wintu in California, arriving peaceful, work with 2 indigenous-led land back projects locally. Thank you, AD. Ashley, calling from Comayagua, Honduras. She's a visitor here for 1 week and will seek out the indigenous groups originally from this area. I support through advocacy and education. Thank you for your work. Here we have Claudia from Almería, Andalusia. She's from Hamburg, and she's involved with the Raramuri Copper Canyon in Chihuahua, defending their life and culture. Thank you very much. Monica from Veracruz, Mexico, land of the ancient Totonacas. Amazing. Thank you all for being here. Jill connecting from Tenochtitlan, Mexico City. Grateful for this connection. Maria on ancestral lands of Seminole and many other native people who are in Florida. Showing up with openness, connection, solidarity, gratitude. Supporting the effort in the Everglades to reclaim native lands from the recent construction of a detention center. Thank you. Luz pronouns, she, land acknowledgements. Land acknowledgements, get to know a group and support them as possible. Arriving grounded, she lives in Ecatepec, the Hill of Wind in Nahuatl. Thank you. Thank you, Luz, for being here today. And I think we can now start our meditation. We're going to honor these native people, all these native cultures that have and ancestors that are part of our lands and our bodies and our spirits. I invite you to take a position of meditation, sit straight, with your eyes closed a little bit, your feet heading towards the ground, landed, grounded, allowing our roots to grow deep into the soil, into the earth, helping us get solidity, stability. Breathing in, making conscious that we're breathing, breathing out, noticing our exhalation. Breathing in, I am conscious that Earth has been inhabited and guarded by human beings for thousands of years. I invite the ancestors of this territory to sit with us and breathe. Breathing out, I honor the rivers of ancestors who have nourished and protected these lands for millennia. I give thanks for their history, with its achievements and mistakes. And I give thanks for the courage of those who resisted so that life could continue. In, Earth inhabited and guarded by humans. Out, honoring ancestors. Breathing in, I invite my ancestors, the white ones, the colonizers, those who knowingly or unknowingly carried out colonial and violent dynamics against other people, their lands, bodies, traditions, and spirits. I also welcome the ancestors who were erased from my history, yet still live within my soul. I invite them, with all their knowledge and connection to the earth, to breathe through my healthy lungs. I open myself to hold both their sorrow and their wisdom. Breathing out, I cradle the suffering of my ancestors, their sadness, anger, and bodily pains. I invite them to sit with us, to breathe, and to surrender to the spaciousness that arises when we touch the infinite web that weaves us together with all beings. I share with the ancestors of the mother colonial world and with the indigenous people the calm and the deep healing made possible through mindfulness and interbeing. In, open to ancestors' sorrow and wisdom. Out, cradle our ancestors' healing and their or our suffering. Breathing in, I am aware of the history of domination, dispossession, and violence that has deeply affected people's lives and has wounded them and their territories. Racism, sexism, sexual violation. I recognize that these conditions are born from the three poisons: greed, hatred, and ignorance. I can see that I am also of the nature of those poisons, and I accept that colonialism, capitalism, and patriarchy run through me and live within me. Wherever I go, they come with me. Breathing out, I promise to bring mindfulness to this part of myself so that my aspirations, desires, ways of living, and preferences do not voluntarily or involuntarily perpetuate the relations of domination, silencing, and discrimination towards indigenous people. I promise to nourish the seeds of generosity, love, clear vision, and simplicity. In, aware of the wounds. Out, nourish healing. Breathing in, I recognize that my mind, my body, and my territory are colonialized. I have seen in the crisis a framework of colonialism and how othering fits the nightmare of separation in which we live. Breathing out, I intend to look beyond the crisis to understand that we are not separated, neither from one another nor from nature. I will do my best to decolonize my thinking in order to cultivate collaboration, compassion, mutual support, and to live in continuous reverence for life. In, aware of othering. Out, nourish transformation. Breathing in, I honor those indigenous people who have safeguarded linguistic, cultural, and spiritual diversity and the 80% of the planet's remaining biodiversity. I honor their territories and their practices of respect and reciprocity with Mother Earth. I honor all indigenous people who have seen and upheld the sacred in every corner of the planet, and I embrace those who have forgotten it. Breathing out, I am aware that we, human beings, have much to relearn toward a new way of living with Earth instead of living off the Earth. I take my place in the world as a human being, capable of caring, creating, collaborating, and loving. In, I honor biodiversity and cultural diversity. Out, I nourish reciprocity with Mother Earth. Breathing in, I recognize that Indigenous people are neither past nor future. They are the present, beating strongly, defending life and with courage and dignity. I give thanks to all the Indigenous guardians who, with their very own lives, have protected life, their land, their medicines and traditions in times of darkness. Breathing out, I promise to develop my understanding and my compassion to protect the lives, voices, customs, and knowledge of all those people in the world who know how to live with the earth, and to honor their resistance by recognizing their place while also seeing their faults or mistakes. I invite every cell of my body to remember that I am a sacred creation of Mother Earth, and I offer myself to live in her service. In gratitude to resilient Indigenous guardians of Mother Earth. Out, nourish sacredness of Mother Earth. And with these two sounds of the bell, we can finish our guided meditation and put attention to any part of our body who needs it. Rub our eyes, our heads, our faces, and prepare for the next part of this session. Thank you, dear Sangha.
Natai, dear friends, thank you for the practice today and every day. You can softly go into the next part of our gathering today. Cheryl and Louise will share about Oak Flat on the Vigils. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Claudia, for the practice. Thank you.
Dear Sangha, dear Earth holders, thank you, Caro and Claudia, for a beautiful practice this morning and for making space in today's Sangha for Oak Flat. Oak Flat is a land that is sacred to the Western Apache people of Arizona, and it is in grave danger of being transferred to an international copper mining company. My dear sister Louise and I are part of an Oak Flat Buddhist working group that's part of a larger multi-faith coalition that's doing what we can to support the Apache strongholds fight to save this land. And today, Louise and I will be telling you about some prayer vigils and Buddhist practices that are happening beginning today through October 20th. To direct our energy and our prayers for Oak Flat, toward Oak Flat. And this is happening at the request of the spiritual leader of the Apache stronghold, Dr. Wensler Nosey Sr. The Apache stronghold has been working for years on both the spiritual and legal levels to stop this transfer. So before we talk about, Louise and I talk about the vigils and the practices that we're going to invite you to be a part of, I want to talk about Oak Flat a little bit. I have not stepped foot on Oak Flat, and yet it's become part of my heart and my life in the last several months. And as Carolina said so beautifully before we started, what's happening at Oak Flat is what's been happening for the last 500 years in the Americas and around the world. So Oak Flat, if you haven't heard of it, is a 6.5 square mile piece of land on Arizona's Tonton National Park. It's a precious high desert ecosystem, and it's a long revered sacred site for the Western Apache people of Arizona. It's been used for indigenous religious rites for centuries before the colonizers came here. It's been a sacred spot for coming of age ceremonies for young Apache women. And by the way, these young Apache women have become fierce advocates for stopping the transfer to this mining company. It provides many medicinal plants for our indigenous relatives there. It's likened to a temple, and it is home to wildlife, our more than human relatives that include black bear, mountain lion, bobcat, skunks, javelina, many at-risk birds, an endangered cactus, and the endangered Sonoran ocelot, who's known to inhabit the area about 3 miles outside of Oak Flat. If this land transfer proceeds, Oak Flat will be hollowed into a massive crater, 2 miles wide and 7,000 feet deep, destroying not only the land itself and our more than human relatives who reside there, but also the living presence of the sacred mountain deity of the Western Apache, and the prayers, the ceremonies, and the cultural practices that have been held there for countless generations. Well, why don't we just take a breath together on that? This mining company called Resolution Copper is infamous for their past destruction of indigenous sacred sites and ecosystems around the world. So on the legal front, on October 6th, the Supreme Court denied a second time to hear the religious freedom case of the Apache stronghold to protect Oak Flat. And so now we're waiting for the 9th District Court to hear oral arguments from 3 different cases trying to protect this land. And that'll happen on January 7th. of 2026. So this brings us to the prayer vigils. Tomorrow, October 13th, on Indigenous Peoples Day at 1:00 p.m. Please, if you're available, join us for a live stream vigil at Oak Flat with Apache Stronghold and a delegation of multi-faith leaders. I'm going to put the links for all these prayer vigils that I mentioned in the chat when I'm finished. And then alongside the live stream, Apache Stronghold has invited echo vigils for Oak Flat between today and October 20th to weave a web of prayer throughout time and space. So our Oak Flat Buddhist Working Group will be hosting an echo vigil tomorrow morning from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then the Indigenous Peoples live stream from Oak Flat will, as I mentioned, will be happening at 1:00 p.m. Pacific time. During our Buddhist Working Group Echo Vigil at 8:30, we'll be chanting and meditating and sending prayers to Oak Flat. I'll put that in the chat also. And then anyone who cannot attend any of these vigils but would like to create your own vigil with your own Sangha or even on your own, I'll include a link to what's called our prayer vigil toolkit. So you'll have a sense of the prayers and the meditations for that. So that'll all go in the chat. And at this point, I'd like to pass things over to Louise.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And I want to say first that I am deeply moved to be speaking about this in this container, in this beautiful setting that Claudia and Carolina and others have created. It's so inspiring to be in the company of those who have been struggling with colonization in the global South. This is very empowering to me, but I wanted to speak a little bit about what we've been trying to do in the Buddhist Working Group and the ups and downs of that. The Buddhist Working Group for Oak Flat, I think we began about the time that some of us came and spoke at Earth Holders. That was back in June. You can probably look it up in the two people who had been at Oak Flat came to speak here with me, and we told the whole story of what it felt to be there. But since that time, there have been so many ups and downs in the story. It sounds very simple the way Cheryl so beautifully summarized it, but the Supreme Court has been wavering about whether to listen to the case, and then there have been two separate dates when we thought the next day the land is going to be turned over to the copper mine. So what we've been doing is organizing with the Coalition to Dismantle the Doctrine of Discovery, and most recently some Unitarian ministers from the Unitarian Church. We've been organizing these different kinds of prayer circles online. And twice, the next day we heard, okay, the land can stay in the Apache hands for a few more months or weeks. So it's been very elevating to do this work. But and I've sent out, I've kind of devoted my life to sending emails about Oak Flat and working with these interfaith groups, which isn't always easy, but it's a beautiful thing to do, and we have a lot of good practices for that we're developing in the Buddhist Working Group. So it's a joyous thing to be working on if any of you want to join us. But I want to tell you the most joyous thing that happened to me. I've been sending these emails and trying to get more people involved, and over and over and over again, and I decided I need to send some to the monastics at Deer Park, which is about a 7-hour drive from Oak Flat. And so they wanted faith leaders to come and be present at this current ceremony that's going on this weekend. And so I wrote them, could you please send a delegation? And I got the most wonderful answers. I got the most wonderful answers from Faplu, if you would like to know their names, and from the acting abbot right now, Fapdung. And Aaron Solomon, who works with Earth Holders, was very helpful on the sidelines. Got some good answers from him too. But most recently, they weren't able to attend. They said they wanted to attend because they would like to be moving in this direction. And they told me about some readings that they're doing and want to do more with Indigenous solidarity. But this weekend is not only Thai's continuation day, was on the 11th, but it's a ceremony honoring Thai and honoring the original abbot of Deer Park. So they are very involved with that. However, they wrote that they would dedicate a portion of their weekend, which will be lunchtime today on the 12th, to a little talk like we're having here about what is going on at Oak Flat, and a period of chanting and prayer, exactly what they're calling for in the Echo Vigil. So they'll be doing an Echo Vigil at Deer Park Monastery today at noontime. Thank you, dear monastics. But most joyous of all, a couple of days ago, I got another email from Bapdung. His name is Dharma Embrace on his email, and he shared this beautiful web page that the Deer Park Monastery has put up. I hope somebody, do you have easy? I can put that up after I'm through talking to you, because I have it easily handy here, or maybe Cheryl can do it if she has it. But it is the most beautiful. I'm a communications person, and I've never seen such a beautiful web page. It has the most beautiful photograph. It has the most beautiful language, and it encourages all followers of Deer Park to participate in these echo vigils. I'm just going to read you one sentence where they say, whoever wrote it was a great poet. Our collective mindfulness, compassion, and solidarity can help sustain these efforts. This is after explaining what the efforts are. So that's really true, and I've felt that. And in doing this work, oh, she's actually showing us the web page. Yes, there it is. Look at this. Those are the young women that become initiated here. Yeah. The link is there. It's
Louise, I love how they call us Dear Sangha warriors. You
yes.
see, yeah.
And I also love, they talk about a wave of energy and prayer generating from around Mother Earth. Yes, this wave of prayers for Oak Flat unfolding across time and space. Well, thank you. I didn't expect you would get to see it, but isn't it beautiful? There we are. So there are many. It takes a lot of, for me, it takes a lot of. I'm an elder. It takes a lot of mindfulness to not pour too much into this, to moderate my energy so that I can get a good night's sleep and speak to you first thing in the morning. Thank you very much. Louise bowing out.
Thank you so much, Louise. Even your moderated energy is so filled with love and passion and continues to teach me, and you're the one who invited me into this Buddhist working group, and I'm continuing to learn from all of you. So thank you so much. So in the spirit of bringing our collective energy and practice together for Oak Flat, we'll do a short practice. And the first part of the practice is a prayer for Oak Flat that was actually found on the bathroom wall at its campground in 2021. So I'm going to speak that prayer. And after every few lines, I'm going to ask you all to join me with a sung line that's as simple as, "We honor you, we honor you." Okay, got that? All right.
We have to mute when we do that, right?
We probably should mute. We pray for the sacred land of Oak Flat, for the ancestor hawks who watch over us. We honor you, we honor you, for the holy trees that keep their arms open for us, for the soothing leaves that provide medicine for us. We honor you, we honor you, for the glistening waters that preserve fresh life for us, for the canyons that maintain centuries of healing prayers for us. We honor you, we honor you, for the black bear, mountain lion, bobcat, javelina, endangered hedgehog cactus, all of the birds who live at Oak Flat, the skunk, the endangered Sonoran oslet. We honor you, we honor you, for Resolution Copper to stop its attack and instead show love and compassion, and for the sacred land of Oak Flat. We honor you, we honor you. Beautiful, and now moving into our metta for Oak Flat. At the sound of the bell, we'll be sending metta, our good wishes, and our heartfelt energy of loving kindness. May this sacred land, Oak Flat, and all her beings be safe and protected today and always. May Oak Flat and all her beings be healthy, strong, and resilient today and always. May Oak Flat and all her beings be free and peaceful today and always. May Oak Flat be a place of spiritual nourishment, healing, and connection today and always. May the vision, strength, and leadership of land and water protectors reach the hearts of many, including those holding government and corporate power, today and always. And finally, may we remember who we are. One Sangha, one drum, one prayer, one community, one global community, one circle, today and always. Thank you, dear Sangha.
May I add one word? Just that we also write letters to the editor, op-eds, and other things that use the energy of prayer to reach out to those that are decision makers and policy makers. That's it.
I just want to add to that, Louise, that I believe the link I put to the prayer toolkit, and I'll check that out, may also have links to example letters and op-eds, if anyone is connected to, to folks that you'd like to send that to. So, thank you.
Dear friends, dear Guy, thank you, Louise, thank you, Cheryl, and thank you for the practice to all of us. I feel my heart beating very, very fast with a very alive energy. I'm very grateful for this. Maybe we can all put our hands in our hearts for a second. So feel our heart. Say hello to the heart. And the other hand in the belly. So that we can say hello to the belly, which is very sweet. And hello to the soil, to the land under our feet. And hello to the clouds and the stars above our heads. Thank you, friends. Now we have the space for the Dharma sharing. And we're going to go into small groups of 3. And as I know and can see that there are some people here present who are not very familiar with our practice, I'm just going to repeat the guidelines for Dharma sharing. Dharma sharing means sharing of the teachings, of what we feel with our hearts, speaking from the heart and listening with the heart. Kindly just giving the space for the person who is speaking to feel how being heard can truly be feel. So we're going to go in this Dharma sharing, and we have about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. and that will mean 4 minutes each. And Claudia, I'm finding it difficult today with the Zoom part.
I will split our Sangha into little groups, but I will also stop the recording.
I'll just and then dear friends, thank you for being here. Thank you for the practice. We aware of the time. We are going to skip the large group sharing, and we are going to the touching of the earth and touching the elements, and then after, in the informal time, we will have time for just talking to each other, enjoying our presence and communicating. So thank you for that understanding. And I invite you all to, I guess that most of us are, we know the touching of the earth. I'm going to slowly guide you through it. And yes, you can hear me well, right? Yeah. So this is it. We can go back to our breathing slowly, aware of the air coming through the tip of our nose. There's the air. Hello, air. Hello, oxygen. We are going to offer a healing ceremony with fire, water, air, and earth, which is framed by the version of Larry Ward. So this is an homage to Larry. The adapted version of Larry Ward's single stanza on Indigenous ancestors. This practice is the fruit of the collaborative healing practice and work with AD. It includes a first part of touching the earth and a second part connecting with the healing qualities of the 4 elements. So now I invite you to stand if you can. Stand if you can. And if possible, you can join your hands in a lotus flower in front of your chest. And what we do is that after the half bell, we touch the earth. That means that we kneel or we lay on the floor. We touch the earth. So Claudia is going to be our bell master today, and she will be inviting the bell, and I will guide us softly after each sound of the bell. Thank you. Claudia, please. I touch my Native American ancestors. You have lived on this land for such a long time and known the ways to live in peace and harmony with each other and with nature, protecting the mountains, forests, animals, plants, and minerals. After the half bell, we are invited to touch the earth with body, speech, and mind, heart. I am grateful for all the foods that you, our ancestors, have cultivated to nourish us today. For the Iroquois' contribution to the development of the US system of government. With the full bell, we are invited to stand slowly. I am in touch with the profound suffering of my Native American and Indigenous ancestors from all lands. Genocide, displacement, racism, and separation from homeland, culture, religion, food, dance, and songs. With half bell, we touch the earth. I deeply honor the bravery and leadership that has allowed the people to survive and thrive. I am humbled by the brilliance of cultural renewal, the resilience of traditions, and the deep generosity of over the past 500 years and before. With the full bell, we stand slowly. I see Tecumseh, Black Elk, Sacagawea, Chief Joseph, Wilma Mankiller, Winona LaDuke, Linda Logan, Vine Deloria Jr., L. Frank Martinez, R. Carlos Nakara, Rigoberta Menchú, Leslie Marmon Silva, Ishi, Dennis Banks, Wendy Rose, and all others, known and unknown inside of me, and in gratitude, I honor you all. With half bell, we touch the earth. I aspire to preserve, nourish, and pass your medicine, ingenuity, humor, courage, dignity, clarity, compassion, art, culture, traditions of cooperation, and selfless service to the community. After the full next bell, we are invited either to stay close to Mother Earth or to slowly stand up and follow the instructions in the next part of our healing ceremony with the elements. Brought the elements, I invite you to have it at hand so we can follow the instructions and practice. The lighting, the candle, the flower, the leaf, the feathers, stones, a piece of food, if you have it all. Thank you. Lighting this candle or this incense, I ignite the ancestral fire in me, and all ancestral burning pain is transformed into a fragrant scent. With the help, light the candle and the incense. Thank you. Drinking this water, this herbal tea, I clean our ancestral scars and ease the pain of open wounds. With the half pail, we drink the water, the herbal tea. Waving this feather, this leaf, I dissipate all ancestral fear, and our voices rise up for deep justice. With half bell, we are invited to wave the feather, the leaf, around our bodies, like so. Holding or eating this food, we compost our ancestral suffering and we release it to the Mother Earth, composted. With the half of the bell, we bite softly the food that we have or hold tenderly the pebble in our hands. With the next full bell, we are invited to touch the earth. I ask earth, air, water, and fire to help me transform our energy into compassionate action. I ask earth, air, water, and earth to help me transform our energy into compassionate action. With half bell, we touch the earth. I offer gratitude and vow protect the earth, air, water, and fire for the well-being of future generations of all beings. With the next veil, we breathe softly 3 times, and then slowly you stand up.
Thank you, Caro, for this beautiful practice. Thank you, dear Sangha, for sharing with us this practice. Thank you to all the elements. Thank you to Mother Earth, to all sacred spaces in this planet. And to close this session, we invite you with the next bell to bow to our Buddha nature. With the next bell, we bow to the Dharma. With the next bell, we bow to the Sangha. May all beings be happy and free from suffering.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, Tai. Thank you, dear Sister Chankong. Thank you all for being here today. And we can say goodbye, and we can stay for a little longer. I'm going to be here. So, yes, thank you. You can just unmute yourselves if you want to speak. I will stop the recording or not. What do you feel about that?
Many, many thanks.
Yes, many, many thank you. That was beautiful to be with you all today.
Gracias a todos.
Thank you, Caro and Claudia. Thank you so much. So beautiful.
Thank you, Caro. Thank you, Claudia. What a deep and beautiful practice today. Thank you so much.
And the meditation and the last touching of the earth with the elements, we will send it in our newsletter in the follow-up email. So you will receive it. And
Excuse me, where?
I shared earlier. So maybe I will do my best to have that email done today, so we can have those links today. Thank you.
Excuse me, could you repeat where?
Luz, I will add you to the list because we have an email list for the English shareholder. So
I see. I write it down here, please, my email account. Thank you.
Thank you, Luz.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Muchas gracias. So wonderful to connect with you all. It's a beautiful ceremony. Thank you so much.